Hey guys, how are you doing? Here we are again.
Yeah, my name is Wesley.
I'm Eduardo, and now we are here to talk about some things that we do in the process of learning a language or speaking a language.
Yeah, so we selected some topics here. Um, and the first topic is what works for you when you are learning a language. Okay, so Ezra,
Okay, so
let's
let's
talk
see.
about that.
When I'm talking about what works for me, uh, when I speak English, I think it's very important for you to practice as much as you can. For example, we are friends. Our native language is Portuguese, but every time we meet, we speak in English or Spanish sometimes,
Yeah.
and we do it just for the pleasure of practicing. I think this is very good. So if you have a friend that speaks the language you are learning, try to talk to this person. You see, because this is a way of practicing, and it's also very good for you to improve.
Yeah, like we meet at least once a week in order to practice. Yeah, like he said, English because in the beginning we talked to each other more in Spanish, but now we do it more often in English. Like English became the language of our talks. You see,
Yeah.
so we talk some for some minutes in Spanish sometimes, but we end up going back to English. You see,
Yeah, so I think this is also a very good thing, and we had a meeting with some other people. Do you remember?
yeah.
In a pub, the people that wanted to speak to practice English. So I think that if you have the chance of doing this, it's an incredible way of improving.
For some people, speaking in English doesn't sound natural. Um, so what do you think about that? Because for us,
I
it's
think it's
natural, of
silly.
course.
I think the people who think like this, it's something silly because we are Brazilian, we speak Portuguese, but we love other languages, learning other languages. So why not? Because we interact with each other and we practice, and we see that this makes us feel uh, better when we are talking the language. So why not?
The other topic is it good to listen to music in the beginning?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, man, because uh, I guess you can remember the words more easily when you listen, when you know songs. You see, they help you memorizing some words. Okay, um, and it's not boring to listen to it like a thousand times because I like listening to podcasts. Okay, but for some people it's boring. Not everybody likes listening to podcasts, and music can help. But I think that we should pay attention to some things and related to music because sometimes singers change the pronunciation of some words when they're singing, and it's related to the rhythm. So we just have to be careful with that. But I think that it's good to listen to music. Okay.
Yeah, it helps a lot. I think that because of the pronunciation, the way they speak the words, although of course they, as he said, there are some differences in the pronunciation because of the melody, whatever. I think that it's something that is fun. I think that most people like to listen to music, so
Yeah.
I think that it's something easy to have access. So why not? I think that this improves a lot too, and you learn a lot of expressions and slangs or whatever in a very simple way.
I think that after acquiring like our more intermediate level, you can search for some other things. See, not just music.
When you start learning a language, forget about dubbed movies. Uh, this is something. I think that watching movies and series, uh, it's very important since the beginning, because I think this is something gradual. First, you just watch with the subtitles. In our case here, it would be in Portuguese. Read with the subtitles in Portuguese or your own language. I don't know. And then you start listening to it with the subtitles in English, for example.
But you don't,
Especially if you are watching something that you are already familiar to. You see, like if you have already seen that movie, and then you have the chance to watch it again with the subtitles in English, because you will know what happens. You see,
yeah.
or maybe not, just watch a movie with the subtitles in English, and then you get to the point that you feel comfortable with the language, and then you can watch movies without subtitles. But I think this is something gradual, because at the beginning you're just going to understand a few words. You see, like, but it's part of the process of
But I
learning.
don't think that it should be like the main source of
No, not
of
the main
learning.
source, but I
That's
think
what I
it's-
think.
I think there is
we
something-
shouldn't use it like the
Yeah, I
main
think
source.
there's something that helps a lot,
Yeah.
but having it as a main source is something that I don't think will help much.
And we're studying and we're trying to learn more things. We should search for things that are more that are close to our level. You see, but by close I mean there are new things there for you to learn. You're not going to like keep studying with the same podcast or the same book forever. Some people get stuck in the basic level. I think that we can advance, and then if you feel like going back and brushing up, that's good. That's positive. Okay, because there are basic things that we learn after being in the intermediate level. I think, like some people don't remember some numbers. They don't remember some even the alphabet sometimes, but they can hold a conversation. You see, it happens sometimes.
Yeah, but after some time, I think that is also good for you. For example, if you already have a certain level of the language you are learning, you can try to make it more of a challenge. You see, like you're not going to keep the same level. You have to make it harder. When should we start speaking the language?
I think that we should acquire at least this basic conversation vocabulary. You see, the most used words. You don't have to know how to say, I don't know, needle or pen, for example. Okay, you have to learn the most used verbs and nouns. Okay, the things that you think that you're going to use the most. Do you think it's bad for the person to try to force it, like when the person doesn't have the enough vocabulary and tries to speak the language anyway?
I don't think it's bad. I think that many people might feel a little uncomfortable and disappointed,
Frustrated somehow.
frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think that it depends a lot on the person. It depends on the dedication of the person, if the person likes it or not. Because some people start learning another language just because they think, oh, it's going to be good because of my work, you see. But they don't really like it. So I think it's pointless to study something when you are not really into it.
yeah,
It's not that it's pointless, but the thing is that it's much harder.
yeah,
So I think that if you, I think that the the moment that you feel like speaking, it's something pretty particular to the person. You see, like the person needs to feel comfortable to talk about anything
Yeah.
they want, because it's not just a matter of vocabulary and structure. You must feel comfortable to speak, and this is something difficult for many people.
yeah. Some people they never start speaking. You see, because they don't want to break this. They don't want to break the ice. You see, they keep in this comfort zone. I don't think people should stay there forever. Okay. There will be a certain time that you have to start speaking. Okay, you have to be patient, but uh, you have to advance. That's what we said before. You have to keep challenging yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
And how can we find friends to practice the language?
That's a pretty good question,
Yeah.
Wesley. I ask you, how can we find people to talk to? Because I think it's the hardest part. Because I think that it's easy for you to find material to read in
Yeah,
English, for
especially
example.
now with the internet.
Yeah,
It's
or
easy.
listen. You see, it's much easier. But when you start studying in a course, for example, it's hard to find because we generally, at least here in Brazil, it's like this. We start, we only speak the language we are learning in the classroom.
Yeah.
When we are outside, okay, we
Or
don't
not. Some
speak.
people speak just Portuguese. Like they don't want to speak
Yeah,
English. Like, let me
yeah.
say in Portuguese because I feel more
But yes,
comfortable
but
with
it's
it.
much easier when to have access to written things in English because we're specifically talking about English, but it can be any other language. But it's with the internet, it's very easy to find material to read and to listen to.
Yeah.
But to find someone to speak to, it's much more complicated. At least I think it's much harder.
Yeah, I guess that the first friends I found for that, like, I guess it was like 2 years after I was studying English. Um, yeah, I'm not sure about the time, but yeah, but it wasn't so easy for me to find friends to practice like to practice English, and okay, but then I think that there are some good websites for that. I found some friends on Live Mocha some years ago. Now I'm not using Live Mocha currently, but it wasn't when I started speaking when I started learning English. It was when I started learning French and Spanish actually. But I found some friends there, and I could practice English with them too. And I think internet is a good place for you to find people. You have to be prepared for people who are not going to have like this. They're not going to be that open. You see, but you will certainly find. You will eventually find friends to practice those languages. And I guess that after you find the first person, you're going to find other people to see because the person is going to know somebody else who wants to practice the language too.
And yeah, but I think that there are
Becomes easier.
many people out there that like this experience of talking to other people
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the internet. Finding people that want to share these kinds of experience, you see, like speaking other languages, you can find them on the internet, okay, in an easy way, but it's not as easy as finding material to read or listen to. But I guess it's possible. There are some websites, I guess, that that promote this kind of things. You see, like finding
Exact
people
change.
to talk to
Yeah.
just for practicing. I wasn't self-taught. You see, I started learning English at a course, okay, an English course, and I only had my friends to practice during class. You see, during the classes, and although I have a pen pal, Joanne, if you're watching me, okay,
Joan.
yes,
Ni hao.
she's from Taiwan. And we met, I don't know how long ago, years ago, and we still keep in touch. But it's something rare because on that time it wasn't as easy as things are today. You see, I think that there are some websites now that they promote this kind of things. You see, like meeting people on the internet just to practice.
How did you meet her? Was it on the internet?
It was on a chat room.
Chat room. Oh.
Yes, because on the course that I used to have classes, we had this lab with computers, and then we were allowed
Use
to
computers.
use the computer, okay,
Oh.
to use the internet, but only websites in English. And then I was on a website, a chat room, and I met her, and I don't know, I guess it was in 2002
2002.
or something like that, and we are in 2017 and we are still friends. So it's something amazing.
Some days ago, I met a friend from the internet, and I'm going to talk about him too. That's Mr. Souza. We met each other at the page of a radio host. Okay, from VOA. That's the name of the radio, and that's Voice of America. Okay, and we started talking to each other, and then he came to Rio, and we met, and it was really nice, and we talked to each other in English in order to practice. It's really cool when you get to this point of meeting people. Okay, of course that we have to say that we have to be careful. Okay, but when it happens, and it's really good, it's awesome, and you can like really make friends for life. Okay, and I also think that I was lucky to find Edward. He was on the page of the course where he teaches, and we started talking. We started having these meetings every week. Okay, and it's really nice.
Yeah, it is. But it's very rare to find, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't happen so often. Okay,
But we got it, so why can't you?
yeah, it's possible. Believe it.
How can we keep improving after getting to the intermediate level?
I think that some people get to this intermediate level and they get stuck, or they feel like they're stuck. Okay, because they're just getting more vocabulary. Okay, they don't feel like this change, like from not speaking a language and starting to speak the language. I guess it shows that you got to a nice level. So you should just keep trying to learn new things every day. Okay, and don't be worried about that. Oh, I feel like I'm not learning. And well, you learned what is enough to hold a conversation. Just keep improving.
Yeah,
Okay?
just never give up.
Never give up. So that's all. Okay, I hope you liked the video, and see you next time.
See you guys.